Morning, guys. I wanted to touch on something before I left for work that I pulled up this morning. Like I've been saying it, some secular people have been saying it, some Christians have been saying it. Should the Lord tarry, 2024 will be unlike anything people have ever seen, should the Lord tarry. I'm going to touch on this article, not going to be a really long video. U.S. economist predicts 2024 will bring biggest crash of our lifetime. As the clock ticks closer to 2024, one outspoken economist is making a dire prediction about the markets in the next year. Quoting, since 2009, this has been 100% artificial, unprecedented money printing and deficits, 27 trillion over 15 years to be exact. This is off the charts, 100% artificial, which means we're in a dangerous state. I think 2024 is going to be the biggest single crash. Let me read that back to you. I think 2024 is going to be the biggest single crash year we'll see in our lifetime, end quote, from Harry Dent. He told Fox News. I'm the guy that's praying for a crash while everybody else is not. We need to get back to normal, and we need to send a message to the central banks, he continued. This is where I'll disagree with him. It's not going to go back to normal. It's not going to go back to normal. This should be a lesson I don't think we'll ever revisit. I don't think we'll ever see a bubble for any of our lifetime again. Again, he's secular. He's not Christian. Dent, who spent the majority of his career analyzing proprietary research, credited his against the grain prediction to overvalued markets. You think? Overvalued markets? Why is it still green? Who knows? And excessive stimulus spending, while recent rallies have overwhelmingly provided investors with mid-recession expectations, didn't remain firm that an everything bubble will burst next year. That I agree with him. Historically, market bubbles are characterized by a rapid rise in stock prices before being met by a sharp fall. The Economist noted that this bubble actually started in late 2021 after the height of the COVID pandemic, with the first signs showing in 2022 when NASDAQ was down 38%. This year, the new year will bring the B wave of the crash. The Roaring '20s bubble was not an everything bubble, a real estate barely bubble in 2008. It was stocks and urban real estate that bubbled, Dent said. This is the one time I'm telling you, do not listen to your financial advisor. Things are not going to go back to normal in a few years. That I agree with. We're not going to be here in the next few years. We may never see these levels again. And this crash is not going to be a correction. It's going to be more in the 29 to 32, the year 29 to 32 level. And anybody who sat through that would have shot their stockbroker. This is an 86% crash in the S&P and the 92% crash in the NASDAQ. And crypto is going to be 96%. So that is a big deal, the economist added. And real estate, by the way, is only projected by me to go back to its 2012 lows. But that's a 50% crash for the average house, which went down 34%. The last crash, more than the Great Depression, more than any time in history. That is what's going to hurt people the most. Britt Gillette has been saying that. Criticizing investors who have played into a year-end market rally where the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended last week scoring its third close after closing 37,000, didn't encourage Americans to get out of the way. If I'm right, it's going to be the biggest crash of our lifetime, most of it happening in 2024. You're going to see it start and be more obvious by May. I hope we're not going to be here by then. The analyst stress. So if you just get out for 6 to 12 months and stuff stays at its highest valuation history, maybe you miss a little more gains. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, you're going to save massive losses and be able to reinvest a year or a year and a half from now at an unbelievably low prices and magnify your gains beyond compare. We're still up there. We're still near the highs, and that shouldn't have happened. So if you've gotten a gift, you've gotten this rebound where you get a second chance to get out near where you could have before. Boy, that's lucky, lucky, lucky. Last week, the Fed hinted it would end its historic campaign to bring down inflation. It's not going down. Propelling a new streak of records for the Dow. Policymakers in their annual projections priced in the potential of 3 rate cuts for the federal funds rate falling to a range of 4.4% to 4.9%, down from the current 5.25% to 5.50%. Looking at the Federal Reserve rate's trajectory, Dent argued that there's no chance for a soft landing. He believes continued disinflation will turn into deflation for the first time since the 1930s, and that the central bank has a weak economy in its hands. That's all I'm going to read. You know where it's headed. You know where it's headed. You know where it's headed. We're going home soon, and the whole thing is going to crash. Even that guy, who I'm probably not a Christian, agrees. Stay strong. We're going home soon. I hope before Christmas. Stay strong. Get safe today. Like, share, subscribe. I told you this was going to be a short video. God bless. Stay encouraged. I'll get back on here in the next day or two.